we're asking people to renew the Portland Children's Levy for 5 more years. The measure will be on the November ballot, is measure 26-94. And we're asking people to renew it. We're asking people to renew it at the exact same tax rate as before, because we think that we've proven that we have a successful formula here for investing in kids and making a difference in their lives. We invest in early childhood development programs. We invest in after-school and mentoring activities, and then we invest in child abuse prevention and intervention activities. As we did in 2002, we said we would invest only in proven cost-effective programs. I think we have done that. It's not always easy to make those determinations, but we have done that. We have also kept our administrative expenses, which we pledged to do, below 5%. We have also leveraged, in addition to the $10 million a year over 5 years that the original levy raises, we've also leveraged about $3 million in private investment that has matched our investments dollar for dollar in some of the programs we support. We are invested in some 67 different programs, many organizations we're all familiar with, from Albina Early Head Start to Big Brothers Big Sisters, Children's Relief Nursery. And as a result of our investment, which has been some $42 million now over 5 years, we're serving, through these organizations, 16,000 of truly Portland's neediest children and families. And we believe it's, we've kept our promises to voters, we've made a difference, and we're asking voters to renew it again for another 5 years.
It's a property tax levy that would last for 5 years, and it's 40 cents for every $1,000 of assessed value, which is different than how much, $60 a year, about $5 a month. Collectively, that will raise between $12 and $15 million a year to fund these kinds of programs. So
the notion behind the Children's Investment Fund was, if we in Portland care about our kids and we want to see them served by these programs, and we want to ramp up the number of kids they can serve, then we should take it into our own destiny and give us the choice, as opposed to sort of saying, well, it's really Salem's responsibility or Washington's responsibility to provide more Head Start slots or classroom spaces. I mean, those are good theoretical arguments, but as you said, over the last 20 years, overall federal state investments have been on the decline in early childhood education, child abuse prevention, after-school mentoring activities. 3 core areas are early childhood development, after-school mentoring, and child abuse prevention intervention. And we've invested, roughly $3 million and some change in each one of those categories. Some people don't want to pay a tax. Some people don't want to help kids, but we were blessed last time with a majority vote, and we hope we'll be similarly blessed this time.
But and I would also say, that perspective, someone who doesn't support kids and why should I have to pay a tax? I personally believe that's a real problem for our community, and that what this is about is investing in kids who are the future of our community. And one of the reasons, this is a good thing to do if you care about kids. It's also a good thing to do even if you don't care about kids, because these kids who are getting this support, first of all, and this has been shown to be true, aren't getting in trouble, so they're much less likely to commit crimes. They are much more likely to be academically successful, so they're much more likely to become taxpayers who are making positive contributions to the community. And one of the reasons we chose these areas as the investment areas is because there's a big body of research that shows that these kind of investments, aside from being the right thing to do from a heart place, are the right thing to do just from a community's investment. Because every dollar you spend on early childhood programs, depending on which, yields between $7 and $13 of savings to the community. Was it the best way to invest to prevent crime is to make investments in proven programs for kids? And so, so you're exactly right. The folks who are really thinking about public safety get that this is really about public safety.
When we voted, the council voted unanimously to put this on the ballot this year. We've added now a new 4th investment category, which will be programs that will help children in foster care succeed. So that, we're already investing in some programs in those other 3 areas that affect children in foster care, but this is to really say, I think the community has a big concern about how foster kids do, and more needs to be done for children in foster care. So we've added a fourth investment area that will, as I said, invest in more programs that will help children in foster care succeed. And we believe it won't take money away from our other categories. We started 5 years ago. This was a brand new thing, and we had to sort of, I think we've gotten better each time we've made investment decisions. You know, we sort of did it by round. You know, we did early childhood investments, then we did after school and mentoring decisions, then we did child abuse decisions. And I think our process of reviewing applications, making sure that you know, the administrative expenses are all right, has gotten better each time.
We do know that because of that uncertainty in the market, people are concerned about their finances, and that's one of the reasons that we're running such a vigorous campaign, because we want to make sure people understand that in tough economic times, more than any other time, we really need to make these investments for kids. And so we think that this is a time that you really have to be thoughtful about the long-term implications, and we can't just pull back because it is a tough time right now. But we don't think that, based on what we understand about the Portland housing market, the market's going to change in such a way that the money won't be there if the programs are renewed. So we expect that they will be. Some of the things that Dan talked about that are true of the Children's Investment Fund, you might assume were just true of government more broadly, but haven't been. And I think this is a really important thing, because I think this helps push government generally. For example, the fact that the Children's Investment Fund only funds programs that have a research basis, that are proven to work. Sounds like, well, of course, what else are you going to do, right? But in fact, in a more broad sense, government has often funded programs because they've always been funded, or because someone really has a special, you know, push to get something funded. And the lens that we look at the Children's Investment Fund is that unless you have a real research basis that shows that this program makes a difference in the lives of kids, it's not even eligible to apply for funding. That is helping to push. I know that in Multnomah County, we've been pushing increasingly towards doing that, and this is one of the lodestars that pushes us there. And similarly, the fact that the Children's Investment Fund has been limiting its administrative expenses to only 5%, and 95% of the money goes out into the field, also helps push existing government programs, because, you know, times are tight, and Multnomah County and the city of Portland, we're trying to make sure we use our resources as efficiently as possible. And the fact that the Children's Investment Fund has proven that it's possible to run a really good, really efficient program and limit your admin to 5% helps, I think, push, inspire, and show the rest of government that this can be done. So that it's not only a matter of being really important for the kids, but I think this is a really important model for how government can operate efficiently. And the fact that it's out there and it's working makes it not theoretical, but something that's out there that you can look to and help push towards.
It came up with our approach in 2002. We looked heavily at San Francisco and Seattle. So other cities or counties throughout the country do have things. There's always little slight variations. But I think what we did different in Portland was, as Jeff said, limit our administrative expenses to 5%, pledged to only invest in proven cost-effective programs. So, you know, we're not interested in pilot projects or demonstration projects. I mean, there's a place for other people to fund those ideas, but that's not what we do. Our emphasis on expanding the number of children served. So I think we added a lot more accountability specifics too, as to how we would go about investing this money than those other cities have.
And a lot of folks have looked to us on that, and, you know, over the course of the years, people have called and said, "How have you been doing it?" Right now, one community in particular is trying to follow directly in our footsteps, and that's Spokane, Washington. They've been out here a few times in the last few months, talking with us, seeing what we're doing, and they're going to do something modeled just like this sometime next year, and hopefully for their sake successfully.